So I was going to talk a little bit about, I'm working on the look for F by F framework and fretwork, fxf.is. It's in Iceland, so I can say whatever I want. I decided to work on the look today, the look and the layout. So I looked at fonts. I looked at fonts at House Industries, and I really like this one, the behemoth, because I like the shape of the X. The X seems very fresh and sort of a amble, that I like. It's even got like that little four-leaf clover sort of thing going on. In terms of if you're looking at kind of like Blink, iconic, what was that? It's got, fronds and anyway, I like it. It's fat too. It has some substance. It's not available. So House Industries has photo lettering, or used to, where you can type in your tagline or whatever and try it out in different fonts, but they're not selling them anymore. And I checked on the website at House, and they haven't turned it into a font for sale. In the facts, they say that you can drop them a line if you still want to buy something from photo lettering, but I don't want to drop a line. It does not work when I drop a line, so I just decided, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go make it myself. So in that back computer back there, I've started making my own behemoth. It's going to look very much like this when I'm done, but I'm making it myself with Adobe Illustrator. I did look at other fonts, and there were some that I liked, but when I looked into it, buying fonts is different now. I haven't bought a font for a while. To license a font, they want to know you buy a separate one for using it for your website, for your mobile device, for your desktop. And I'm like, I don't want to just futz around with licensing. I want to buy a font. I want to use a font. And if I have to fuck with your licensing all over the place, I don't want to fucking buy your font, is what it came down to. So another reason to go make my own. Albeit, I got it from a reference of looking at something that I liked. I'm just going to go make it. So let's see. I thought I would talk about fonts. And what else? Anything else? I've been working, which kind of makes me tired. So I haven't been working on presentation, going for reward, but I have this fleshed out as a possibility, and I'm proceeding to get it ready for the marketplace for presentation. For me, I just typed in the photo lettering is convenient because say you have an idea for a brand name, you just type in the letters, and then you pick fonts and see how it looks. And right away, I really liked Behemoth, but I tried all of them, and then I was able to analyze why I like Behemoth. I like the X, and I like the fatness of the letters, and then why do I like the X? Well, for me, it almost looks like something you would roll the dice with that little metal thing that that lands with its points but has little balls on it. I don't know, it reminds me of gambling or a dice game or something, or four-leaf clover, and there's something very fresh about it. And I did look at other font factories, and I'm like, they're all so skinny. Or there's one that I liked, it was Dream something, but then I thought, okay, that might work. But then I saw all the licensing, and I'm like, good God. You just don't buy a font anymore. You buy it, well, you're going to use it on your website, it's going to cost you this amount. And if you're going to use it on something else, it's going to cost you this amount. I'm like, I'm not going to fuck around with your licensing, because that is just penis sty, i.e. at up my ass hyphen K hyphen T. I'm not going to do any, I'm not doing anything with that. I, I can't, I really can't express how much I abhor uh, stupid shit like that. My rules for protection, pip and prig height. I'm like, fuck off. You're a knocked off, okay? That's all. So, no, seriously, I'm really abhorred that the licensing is uh, so complex, so anal, and just banal. Okay, I just zapped the creativity right out of me. I'm like, fuck that. I'll just go make my own. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, okay, I could do it in my hand. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, you know what? I want it to be polished. And I like how Behemoth has nice, smooth edges. It's already done. I'm like, well, you know what? It wouldn't be your first time that you made a font from looking at a font. It's because you took a graphic design class. You may as well go use those skills. You know where to find me if you want your updated Behemoth. Oh, come on, I'll share. All right, I just was checking in, letting you know what's up. I've kind of been, I would say I'm definitely retreating, because it's not an easy thing to do. Come on. It's not an easy thing to do. Oh, pay me money so I can insult you. No, you have to trust me that if you're paying me one eye, okay, in the framework and fretwork, with my scope, that I'm going to find you valuable. um, Relatable, desirable, necessary. Well, there's not anything else for me to do. I could keep taking naps. I can go to the dog park. I could let an innocent romp of a dog bend my knee backwards. I could get upset about that. I'm not upset anymore, and I'm not upset at the owner, who I thought was callous at the time, but honestly, from his perspective, it probably didn't look like much. Uh, um, what I've resolved is to understand my age, or where I am, you know, 2 months off, laying around in a cast, and a couple months of swimming, that it's important to keep my knees in good standing by thinking about protecting them. So, you know, where I am now is I've taken it as feedback, a body awareness, you know. I consider myself, because I've spent much of my life first as an athlete and then very active all my life, to basically, you know, I don't exist with hitches in my get up. I think I do. I don't like think I'm like, well, now I'm gonna have to drag this ass to go do it. You know. So, but it is mild feedback at the very least, you know. And so to think in terms of protection, bones may get more, I don't know, they may not track like they used to, you know, patella, whatnot. So anyway, it was just feedback to be aware of. And when I see a big dog running towards me, I'll be like, all right, you need to get out of your way. Not stand there so he could take me down like a bowling pin. What else? What else? I'm starting to walk a wee bit. I part of not doing much this week after getting my knee getting hit is I haven't been going to the gym because I've been trying to assess, you know, the stiffness and where it gives out. It's not stable, although it is generally more stable. It's kind of stiff in the morning once I get up. When I'm walking Minnow and he pulls every once in a while, I'm like, oh, there it is. I don't have stability right there. So I'm not really, I don't want to go full bore in terms of exercising, but I am starting to walk because I think walking would help the right motion to give me the supporting muscles and tendons. So it's just, it does not feel like I called my foot doctor. Like, who do I talk to for the knee? And they said, call your general. I'm like, oh, that's a new general that doesn't know anything about me because the insurance was fucked up. And I had to get a new general doctor. So I'm like, So I said to them, if you're telling me to call my general doctor first, what you're saying is it's not always serious. That's what you're saying, right? And they're like, well, we're not always saying that, but I'm saying you are saying it is a possibility. I said, fine then. Fine, I will sit this one out and see how it feels. Before I go do another general doctor appointment to get to a specialist. Because if the specialist for my foot is saying, go see your general, I'm like, let me fill in the gaps. You're saying it's not always serious, that it can recover. And so I did some more research. Torn meniscus, what do they say, 2 to 6 weeks? Maybe 8? It's generally, it's my thought that cartilage and ligaments are slower to heal, but they're also saying that doing exercise, that compression of walking and flexing muscles, produces the blood flow and the gosh, is it lymphatic? Anyway, it's all good for getting nutrients to the area so it heals. So yes, on exercise is what I'm reading, but don't overdo it as a modality to heal. And then assessing how bad it is, well, it seems to be trending in terms of, yeah, it was injured, but I could still be mobile. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being mobile. Somewhat. But I took this week off. We could say it's part pity. Part sullen too, because it's kind of like, Angela, you've got one job to do, and what do you want to do? I want to take a nap. Field appointments when I've got them and go take a nap. Why? Because I've got one job to do. And it's, I think part of the nap thing, the inclination, is not dealing with the undercurrent of vulnerability. Providing a presentation, making other people aware of the opportunity it's trading a certainty for vulnerability. So I'm okay with the feedback in terms of if I get nothing, well, that's all I've ever gotten. Okay, and nothing is better than this. Okay, so it's really not my failure. You're just not ready, and that's not my problem either. But for me to go be footloose and fancy free, like fuck the world because it just wants you. And no, I'm not going to bring out a gun and brandish it because that's all you want. It's just leave you to your toy shit, okay? But really I can dissolve myself from having to care about your tarnishment, you know, to tease. A tease asked, all right, to please lease and lass, you know, so it does free me up. There's a lot of, it frees me up to wear different hats for myself, go back to the creative things, hexagon, art on the computer, sewing, design, whatnot. So still with the same uneventful opportunity in the marketplace of, yes, what I make actually means something, so you're probably not going to buy it either. But I'm not suffering in any illusion. You know? So am I suffering illusion now? Well, you know, I've got one thing left to do. That's make a presentation, and that with a commitment to serve, you know, as a service. So I've taken enough naps. So that's where I was today. It was like, well, let's start with the look of it, because I've fleshed out the notes and how I think it's going to work. You know, how it, one conceivable way that it could work, you know, for follow through. So I'll give it a whirl. All right, so I'm going to get this video up, go for a walk with Minnow.